It's kind of nice to have the game already done for today. I haven't done my treadmill yet. I'll do that um, after this video, and probably after I do another video as well. Or maybe I'll do that video later on. It's fine. The day's wide open now. So, Tampa is on the verge of a Stanley Cup Finals. Tampa and Dallas. Boy, that would be a fun finals for me personally. And yet, for the Islanders, they're not done. And yet, it kind of feels like they're done. So I can understand the Vegas-Dallas series that Dallas has not finished off Vegas. Vegas has, through large portions of games, outplayed Dallas. So though it's a 3-1 series lead for Dallas, I can understand people saying, this could turn around. And it can. This series doesn't feel that way. Now, real gut punch to the Islanders is that Cizikas has left the bubble. He will not be back. Kuhnhackl's left the bubble as well. He is a healthy scratch often anyways, so it's not a huge issue for them. But Cizikas being out does hurt. It's not crippling. He doesn't score a bunch of points, but it does change the way that this team's going to play. Point and Killorn were both in, of course. Killorn having been suspended for Game 3 and Point being injured. I do not think Point is 100%, but he had a pretty good game. Lots of pregame chatting between the teams, and there was lots of speculation on Sportsnet that, there's going to be fights, and look. But I didn't really see that. I saw, yet there was some chirping back and forth at center ice during the pregame skate, but I didn't see anything that told me there was going to be a bunch of fighting going on. And it didn't really happen. These are just teams that are kind of like, I don't know if I like your face. I don't know if I like your face either. Let's stand here and have a chat about it before the game starts. So what don't you like about my face? Probably the same things you don't like about my face. And if you read their lips, I'm pretty sure that's what they were saying word for word. So in the first minute, Tampa Bay hits a crossbar. And I thought, if that had gone in, this game could have got ugly early. But it doesn't. So first minute, crossbar for Tampa Bay. The Islanders were pushing Point early, and I mean they were checking him, they were throwing him to the ice, they were pushing him around, they were doing everything they could. And this is one of those things where people say, why don't they tell us what kind of injury a player has? This is why. This is one of those things where the Islanders know this guy's not 100%. Pretty sure he's not 100%. If they can knock him out of the game, they will. That's just hockey. That's always the way hockey has been played. And I know there are people who don't like it, but that's always been the way that it's been played. If you think that a guy on the other team, especially an important guy like Braden Point, is not 100%, and you might be able to knock him out of the game and do it without getting suspended or knocked out of the game yourself, then you take that chance. The shots were 4-0 for Tampa Bay 4 minutes in. The Islanders' first shot was at 5 minutes and 27 seconds, and Tampa Bay was the better team right out of the gate. And you could see that they were a much better team than they were in Game 3. Which is understandable because, again, you've got Point and Killorn in the lineup. Those are two top 9 forwards, and, of course, Braden Point really makes that first line go. No offense to Anthony Cirelli, but he's not Braden Point. I don't think he'd get upset if I said that to him. Pace picked up around the 7-minute mark, and then there was an offside right after that. They go to commercial, and I thought, we'll see if the pace stays at that level. Pelech then takes a penalty. Tampa Bay goes to the power play. That power play was 1-for-1 in Game 3. It was not a factor in this game. The Islanders' penalty kill came through, was very, very good in this game. The Islanders killed that, only allowed the one shot. There were 7 blocked shots to that point in the game by the Islanders. 7. The Islanders' shot blocking, they brought that part of the game today, but Tampa just kept wearing on them. Eberle had a shot then that nearly handcuffed Vasilevsky, and then it goes wide. And it was one of those ones where if that had gone in, and that's one of those ifs, right? Like, if that crossbar is actually a shot that hits the net in the first minute, if that Eberle shot from far out had actually fooled Vasilevsky completely and gone in, we might have had a completely different game. The hitting was increasing at that point as well. Braden Point skating well, taking regular shifts at that point in the first period. 14 minutes in, 8 shots by Tampa Bay and 8 block shots by the Islanders. So their shot blocking game is on point. And not wanting to say the word point too often, but here we are. Intense defensive battle. Referees appeared to be letting them play at that point, and I think they did. Now, this game had 6 power plays, but I thought there was a lot of stuff that both teams were guilty of that was let go. These teams were both pretty chippy with one another. This series has been a lot rougher than I kind of expected it to be. This is how Tampa Bay has changed from last year, that they can play this game. They don't get bothered by that game. Martin then had a shot at the horn. It was maybe a half a second late. It hits Vasilevsky on the pad. But we know how this works now, that if you take a shot after a whistle, if you take a shot at the horn, it's going to draw a scrum. Some garbled talk, meaning that they were garbling up the audio because guys are swearing at each other. And Martin ends up getting an unsportsmanlike conduct out of that. And then there were a couple of offsettings on top of it. But while the shot attempts were 27-8 in favor of Tampa, they start the second period with a power play. I was really surprised. When the second period started with the power play for the Tampa Bay Lightning, I thought, how? How did they decide that Martin should be getting the extra penalty out of that? And if it's a misconduct, this is where you want it to be a Roussel misconduct, where it's 10 minutes rather than 2, because a 2-minute misconduct, you're shorthanded. So, territorial edge to the Bolts in the first 5 minutes. They didn't score on that power play, which, again, that's one of those situations where I'm like, good. I don't want to see a power play goal in a situation where I'm not sure how they got a power play out of it. McDonough then takes a penalty. The Islanders go to the power play. Great penalty kill by Tampa. Absolutely nothing going for the Islanders on that power play. They got no shots. They can get set up, can't get a shot through on Vasilevsky. Johnston then had a chance that went wide. The Islanders were pushing a bit around the half. And then, did Cirelli trip Barzal? Tampa will say yes. No, Islanders will say yes. Tampa Bay would say, nah, he just got his stick caught up there. And people will tell me in the comment section below. That's why I've got written on the board. Fans will tell me. Much like when Nelson takes a stick and puts it into his own bench. I think it was Palat's, wasn't it? And just he throws it in his own bench, and Palat's like, can I have my stick back? And the others are like, what stick? And so he just leaves the ice. And then Nelson scores from Bailey at 11:27. It goes over Vasilevsky's glove, and all I could think was, all right, so we've got some life in this game. The Islanders score first. Maybe they have a chance. Maybe this is a game where, nope. Coleman from Gord and Vasilevsky at 11:42, so 15 seconds after that first goal. Coleman gets the one to tie it. Fast break goal. No chance for Varlamov. Bit of a brain fart by the Islanders defense there on the face-off after the goal. And Vasilevsky with a secondary assist. That's just, everything coming up Tampa on that one. All right. So it's 1-1. If the Islanders can get, another chance, and maybe if they can get up, before you finish that thought, Tampa Bay scores again. Palat scores from Kucherov and point at 11:54. So they overcommit to Kucherov and point, which makes total sense. If you're going to leave anybody on that line alone, it's going to be Andre Palat. The problem is this line has really, really good chemistry when they're clicking, and you kind of have to watch all three. So Palat's kind of left on his own. He puts it in. Varlamov was not happy with that goal. I think he felt like he should have been able to stop that one. And just, this is insanity at this stage. 11:27, 11:42, 11:54. 3 goals in 27 seconds of a game. The Islanders try to wrap around for the answer. Shattenkirk was then guilty of a delay of game. The Islanders get a power play. During that power play, Devon Toews hits a post. So again, it's these close chances, these bounces. This is the kind of thing I talk about where you need those bounces, and the Islanders weren't getting them in this game. Varlamov bounced back during that penalty kill. So Barzal takes a penalty, 17 seconds of 4-on-4. Tampa gets the power play, and then Varlamov, during the penalty kill that followed, he bounced back from what was, a rough 12 seconds for him. Then there's a great save by Vasilevsky with 3 minutes left, and it really felt like it was a more wide open game after it became 2-1. Both teams getting good looks, good chances, and definitely the special teams opened things up a little bit as well. So it is 2-1 in favor of Tampa going into the third. In the third, Tampa Bay presses. Varlamov almost had it. It was so I'm putting there like Varlamov, okay, he's going to cover it, and then no. Point gets the goal from Palat and Kucherov at 3:33. And that line is so dangerous, and they crashed the net so well, and that made it 3-1. The shots were 4-4, 5 minutes into the period. But it felt like the shots that Tampa was getting were more dangerous. They were getting closer to the net. The Islanders were being forced to perimeter play. And every time that there was any kind of turnover, anything like that, Tampa looked really, really dangerous today. Komarov almost willed a turnover with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left. Like, it was him against 3 other guys, and he almost made it happen. Point seemed to be in some discomfort at the bench. I do believe they watched his ice time in the second half of the third. No reason to have him out there. You're up 3-1. Let him sit on the bench and rest himself up for Game 5. Palat then was guilty of a hook. The Islanders get a power play. They had to score. There's 6:08 left in the game. It's 3-1. The Islanders really needed to score here to really kick this game into next gear, and it just wasn't going to happen. Solid penalty kill by the Bolts. The Islanders got their pressure. They pushed again after that power play was over. The Bolts then really trapping, doing their best to keep the puck out. Goaltender gets pulled with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Not long after that, Paquette to Gord. Maroon scores his first goal in the playoffs as a member of the Lightning at 17:36 into the empty net. Makes it 4-1. And then after that, the Islanders pulled the goalie again, because why not? Sure, pull the goalie again. They don't get a goal, and Tampa Bay emerges with a 4-1 victory. This was an impressive win for the Tampa Bay Lightning to go up 3-1. If we do end up with Tampa and Dallas, here's the thing. So tomorrow night's Monday, and that's your Game 5 between Vegas and Dallas, and then this Game 5 goes on Tuesday. We could see the Stanley Cup Finals start on Thursday. If these series keep going the way they're going, we could see the Stanley Cup Finals start on Thursday, which would be crazy. So the Stanley Cup could be awarded before the end of September, which would make the NHL very happy, and then they're able to really play with the schedule. It gives them a really wide open swath of time where they can have everything all settled, and the players get more of a break than they otherwise would have gotten. Interesting game. 3 stars in this one were Point, Palat, and Kucherov. I cannot argue that any Islander deserved to be in the 3 stars in this game. The shots favored Tampa throughout. 11-5 in the first, 14-12 in the second, and 11-10 in the third. Final shots 36-27 in favor of Tampa, as Tampa has been able to breach that 30-shot level that basically the Islanders have kept every team down below before this series. Tampa Bay has gotten 30 or more shots in 3 out of 4 games now. So it says a lot about Tampa's ability to break through that wall that the Islanders have been putting up. Both teams 0 for 3 on the playoffs. Vasilevsky, 25 saves on 26 shots for Tampa. Varlamov, 32 saves on 35 shots for the Islanders. And we're going to Game 5. And again, this is now a feature that every game I go to moneypuck.com. Again, free plug for them. And I go to their deserve to win-o-meter, and it says today, right, it's still daylight, that this wasn't really close. 65.6% in favor of Tampa. So they have 1,000 simulations based on the stats, and there was a 65.6% chance that Tampa Bay won the game. And they did. So good job for them, good job for the Bolts, and we'll see whether or not the Lightning can close this out on Tuesday and go to a Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 2015, while Dallas tomorrow will try to do the same for the first time since 2000. So 2 teams that haven't been in this position for a while. Tampa hasn't won a cup since 2004. Dallas hasn't won a cup since 99. The Islanders, 1983, of course, in Vegas. They haven't won a Stanley Cup yet. So we'll see which one of the 4 ends up ending their drought. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. This has been a really fun series. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.